Good evening. It is August 10th. I realized it has been a long time since I've done a garden tour, but it's just been really busy. And so I wanted to do this because a lot has changed since the last time we did this. There's lots of color to see now. So let me turn the camera around. We'll start over here with the fence garden. Not going to go over everything because that will take forever, but let me just show you some of the peppers. Look at those. They are pretty much black. I believe this would be black olive. Let me see if I'm right. Yes, I am. Gorgeous peppers. Look at this one. I love the way this one spreads out. And that is, it says variegated royal black, but I'm not convinced that that's right. I think I got these in a trade, but either way, they are gorgeous. We have some chard. This is like the sacrificial leaves that hang over the side. The squirrels and the bunnies chew on them. Look at this. This is one of my sunflowers. Look how tall that thing is. It's just starting to form a head way up there at the top. I did not expect it to get quite that tall in this planter, but it did anyway. Looks bad. I actually just watered. So I might have to get my little step stool and trim off some of those leaves that it looks like something else has been chewing on. What? I have no idea. The petunias and peppers still here. Here's another sunflower. Same one, same package of seeds, but this one is not as tall. Bee balm and pineapple sage. More gorgeous black peppers. Lots of dill. I think I mentioned before, a lot of this dill was volunteer dill and I moved it. Down here we have black Hungarian peppers. They start out looking like jalapenos, then they get dark, and then they ripen to red. Oop, I accidentally took that one off, but that's okay. It's ready to go. Over here we have my 2 cucumber plants. Wisconsin SMR and lemon cucumber all mingled together. That's just 2 plants and they are going wild. I've run out of space that way. I need to try to go up if I'm going to keep them. And that way, you see, it's just going. I had no idea these plants will go wild like this, but I love it. So next year, if I use this spot for cucumbers, which I do like, I will make sure to have a much taller trellis. Here's one of the lemon cucumbers right there. Almost ready to go. I'll probably get that tomorrow. I didn't plan to do any harvesting today. I picked up a few tomatillos that fell off of the plants. Here we are passing pepper row. Oh, look at these. Those look scary, don't they? Somehow I labeled this container as cayenne. Clearly they are not cayenne. I suspect they are big yellow mama. Ooh, and look at that. I think I'm right. I see a little yellow on this one right here. So we'll see in a couple days if I'm right about that. Up here we have my Tumbling Tom Tomatoes, which have been doing pretty well. Looks like it's time to feed them. We've had a lot of rain and it's been really hot. So today is Wednesday. By the end of this week, I need to feed the whole garden again. These are my Brazilian starfish peppers. We've got one starting to turn right there. Lots of other gorgeous peppers. These are shishito. So shishito we usually take when they get green, when they are green, but in there you'll see some turning red, and those are delicious as well. Next to that are my Cajun Beel, which has become one of my favorites. These plants are so productive. I've grown them inside, and look at those gorgeous peppers. Next to that is Big Thai Hybrid. As you can see, my pepper plants are doing really well. They are loaded. Here is Rasa Macedonia, and I love the way these peppers look. This is one of the 2 tomatillo plants that I started. Then we have the others that were volunteers mingled throughout. Here's some red okra. I don't remember the exact variety. Some green okra. And here we have the Motherland Okra, which is that new Baker Creek one. Let me put this pepper in here. That has not produced any pods just yet. I think it's starting to get there. And aphids. I have not had a huge issue with aphids in my garden at all, but they absolutely love that okra plant. Both of my Motherland okras covered in aphids. Let's go inside. All right, over here, tomatillo I mentioned, there's things intermingled everywhere. Here is a cucumber. There we have one of my new favorite basils. That's the Pesto Perpetual basil, which I picked up at Home Depot. I think it's by, if not Burpee, the other one that makes the plants that are sold at Home Depot. This is the second year buying that, and this time I got 3 plants, I think, and I've already taken some and rooted it inside in an aerial garden so I can keep it going. There's some sorrel. Here are some habanero peppers. This was a sunflower. I cut the head off. I'll put a clip of it here. I also cut off my big sunflower head for drying. You can see all the seeds forming right in there. So I put it here in the greenhouse so it can dry out so the birds won't get all of my seeds, the birds and the squirrels. Here's a Market More cucumber. Moving up the arch. On this side, we have the cucamelons taking over the arch and the fence. Down here are still a bunch of beans, which the plants were starting to look kind of beat up, and I thought they might be coming to end of life. Then they started taking off again. So I'm going to trim off the bad leaves and things. Same thing with the red noodle beans. I thought they were done, and then I noticed new flowers and new growth popping up. Same thing on that side there. Over here, we have, this is my lemon squash. This is the lemon squash that was in that big bed right there in the middle that was barely growing, and it was so slow. I said, you know what? Something is off in that bed. We'll get to that in a moment. But I moved it into a grow bag, fed it very well, stuck it up here, and it has taken off. So I'm looking forward to this being my second phase of squash once the zucchini plants are most likely phased out. Next to that, we have an absolutely gorgeous Savoy cabbage that's starting to head up now. This is I think this is the gigantic kohlrabi. See, that's a big one. There's some more kohlrabi over there. This is another cucumber plant that I just stuck in here from when I bought a sale of them at the nursery, and there was like way too many in there, but I got rid of only one. This is Brighton Shiso, which is an Asian herb, and I had no idea this plant would be this huge. It was so huge that it shaded out basically 2 of my okra plants. And then when reaching in here to do something, I accidentally cut the top off of my okra plant over there with little tiny pods on it. So I stuck it in here. I didn't know if it was going to work, but it did. That okra has grown quite a bit. The leaves are now strong, and it's growing new leaves, so you can root okra. This is the other one that was being shaded out. I moved it over here so it can get some light. So that's going to be bringing up the rear late okra. Another volunteer tomatillo. The other one that was in here I pulled because it didn't look so hot, and I didn't need that many plants. There's some beets in there, some purple basil. That's just a marigold. Here we have some oregano. And here we have celebrity tomatoes from the nursery. And I love the look of these. This is the Pasilla Vallejo peppers. They are gorgeous. There's some more peppers in here. Poblano over there, which are coming up to a really, really nice size. Look how big that is. This is arugula that I'm letting go to seed. I kind of tied it out of the way. But as you can see, the pods are getting there, starting to dry. So we won't go over everything as I stated. This is my round zucchini. I don't think there's any on here right now. Nope. It's just getting around to like pumping up a second phase up there. I've gotten like 5 off of there so far. Here's some jalapenos that look really good. Red vein sorrel. There's some celery. This is 3 different tomato plants in there. More tomatillos, volunteer. Here's one of the green stalks. Everybody always loves talking about the green stalks. So in here we still have my purple cabbages, which are doing great. A bunch of different types of kale. Up here we have cauliflower, which I just realized today started heading up, and then I believe it started flowering. So it was too warm for that. So I'll probably try cauliflower again when it's cooler, maybe. Then this is Japanese flowering kale. Over here was my broccoli, which I did get a decent head off of. Not a big one, but it was okay. And now you can see that it is forming new, smaller heads, which I can cut off and eat. I should have gotten them already. Look at that. There's several of them. This one's getting tall, but I can eat all of that. And the leaves as well. Here is the gorgeous red cabbage. Look at that. It's the same thing that's in the green stalk, but because it has more space over here in this planter, it is much bigger. There's some black beauty eggplant. Over here is the Indeterminate Tomato Bed that is really wild. For the second year in a row, I hesitated upgrading my trellises. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. Next year, I will be getting cattle panels and doing much stronger trellises in all the beds. Here's one zucchini plant, two zucchini plants. There's a couple of baby zucchini on there. Over here we have a tower of herbs, which are beat up now. Lots of basil. This is emerald basil, Thai basil. There's some lettuce leaf basil over there. Look at this beauty. These are going to be big orange striped tomatoes. I have a few in the house that have ripened, and they are so pretty and very delicious. This is the time of year when tomato plants start to look diseased and beat up. Look at that. You can see all of the blight and the fungal issues and things from soil splashes, and you just kind of cut that part off and deal with it. If your plants get too bad, obviously you can get rid of them. I see one of my Costolito Genevieve tomatoes ripening there. Here's some more lemon cucumbers. There's some chard down here. This is the Determinate Tomato Bed. Again, same thing. This one plant, the Matt's Wild Cherry, has not looked too healthy from the start. And now some of the other ones are starting to do the same thing. This one, this is a Purple Rain. I'm going to pull this tomorrow because as you can see, I've gotten several tomatoes off of it, but now it looks like the plant is just not doing well. And this other one next to it looks much better, although not great. So I'm gonna trim that up and see if we can get it to hang on a little longer. This is one of my favorites now over here, a wild plant, but this is Principe Borgu or Borghese. Very productive. Here's a couple that are almost ready to go. I usually pull them off about that time. Oh, there's a broken branch here. It's okay. But yeah, those are really good, and the plant just keeps pumping out more tomatoes. So again, have to see if I can trim that up and keep it going a little longer. If we go around here, we have my early Jersey Wakefield cabbage. These are some collards. This is a purple cauliflower. More tomatoes over here. This is, what are these called? Early Cascade. Here's one ripening up down there. There's some Romas in there. There's Perone in there. This is a little strawberry tower, which needs some major maintenance. This is just a dollar store planter. They're not great. They dry out quickly. And there's a lot of strawberries in here because I had a lot of volunteer plants. In addition to the ones that were already in there, and I never split them out. Over here we have dragon egg cucumbers. And as you can see, the cucumber plants are, these, they're getting there. They're getting to looking a little bad. Here's one of the small dragon egg cucumbers. I've gotten so many off these two plants already. they are also highly productive. Back here we have 3 zucchini plants. There's a baby zucchini there. In the back are cucumbers. And I know I saw a couple. Yep, there's a couple down there that are almost ready that I'll dig out tomorrow. Oh my goodness, how did I miss this one? There we go. It's a nice cucumber. Didn't want to get this today, but it looks like it's ready to go. I can see some more zucchini down there in the back off of a new stem on the back of that plant. We have some Roma tomatoes here. This plant started out in that bed, and then I realized, no, that is not going to work. So I moved it out to a grow bag, and it is thriving and doing well. More peppers back here. These are some habaneros, beautiful poblanos. I think I recall seeing, no, I took it off. There was an orange habanero there. These marigolds, these are huge. This is the second huge one I have, and I've actually already chopped away at these and replanted some elsewhere, and they're still too big and in the way. Second round of tomatoes. So there are like 3 or 4 grow bags here with potatoes. I said tomatoes, didn't I? Potatoes in them, and sweet potatoes there in the back. And then this bed is full of potatoes. I already got 1 round of potatoes and decided to go for another since I have the time. Then over here we have that basil. I decided to keep the flowers on this one for now because the bees like it. That's bee balm. There's another pepper plant over there, and there are some beets in that pot that should be coming around to being ready soon. This is a Cherokee purple tomato plant. And then over here we have a country taste tomato plant. In here there is a grapevine that I planted last year. No grapes yet. And I believe the mulberry bush that I thought didn't make it also made it. So both of those are in that tub. Here we have another eggplant. And then we have the pepper tower. The pepper tower is full of 30 pepper plants. And if you missed it on my social media, we had a bad storm a week ago. And this whole thing fell over and was laying right where I am here. So, some of the plants got a little beat up. Like you can see, this one here is broken. Some of the pieces that broke off I took in the house. I may root them. But overall, I was so happy that it was not worse. The plants are okay. As you can see, they are still loaded. They have gorgeous peppers on them. This is the Thunder Mountain Longhorn. There's a broken one that I missed getting off. And you can see lots of ripening. This is Count Dracula. There's another one that broke. Jalapenos. Look at these. Ahi Cherokee, I believe. Look how beautiful they are. We've got lots of gorgeous peppers in this tower. I have a total of 86 or 85 pepper plants now, and 30 of them are in here. This is Hungarian wax. They go from yellow to orange and then to red. So, lots of people ask me what I make with all of my peppers. Hot sauce, pepper relish, pepper jelly, salsa, dehydrated peppers, pepper powder, like cayenne pepper and paprika pepper, because I do have specific paprika peppers in here. That's these here. Those are paprika peppers. That's what paprika powder is made from. There's so many things that you can do with peppers and anything from your garden, you know. All this stuff, you don't grow it just to give it away. Some people do, but I grow it to preserve it and to feed my family, to try interesting new recipes. So I dehydrate, and yeah, so I'm pretty happy so far this season. You remember I expanded from last season. I think next year I'm going to try less plants in some places. For example, the tomato beds. I think about 4 or 5 less plants in each bed would be beneficial because they are so wild. I don't mind it so much, but I want to try that and see how that goes. All right. Thank you for listening. You can see it's starting to get a little dark. But I just want to do this, and I'm trying to work on doing more videos coming up. Actually, my girls will be going back to school starting in a week. The boys will be back in school, so things should be a little bit calmer, even though I'm still back in the office, which is part of the problem. I work full-time, so Monday through Friday I'm not home to do a lot of videos or a lot of garden stuff. So when I do get home, I'm usually in a rush and just rushing out to do what I need to do and not thinking about grabbing the camera. But I'm gonna try to get a little bit better about that, at least some shorter videos. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.